this is 365801 and this is a book and manga haul video for the month of June 2023. Hello and welcome to my no-buy month for the month of June. Yes, a no-buy month. This is this is me not buying. This is probably the worst. This is the worst it's been, guys. This is the worst it's been. What happened? What's wrong? Yeah, so I did say at the end of last month's video that I had one thing that hadn't arrived yet, so I knew I was going to have one thing, but one thing would not be enough for it to be a haul video. I'm still excited about that one thing. I can't wait to show you. But it's definitely been this kind of a month where I have purchased a lot. I have reasons. But also, I do have to say that I agree with Rin. And if you just shouldn't say you're going to do a no-buy month, because then you're going to come across bargains. And to be fair, a lot of these are amazing bargains. Like the bargains I have to show you, ooh, they're so good. They're so good. The majority of the books and manga in front of you right now, I got for chef's kiss amazing prices. Amazing prices. And of course, if you've been following any of my Manga Pride reads, reading vlogs, then you will have seen some of the things that I've already unboxed or that I've bought in charity shops and things like that. So yes, I have books, I have prose, I have manga, I have bargains galore, and I have amazing titles to show you. Amazing titles that I'm super pleased to have in my collection. I just need to then now go through it all and decide where it's going, because oof, my collection just way too big now. It's way too big. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with the books. Let's start with the books. Now, the first one that I have to show you, I got as a gift. So this one didn't actually cost me anything. It did arrive, but it arrived in a funny way. It came with tea bags, because when I had ordered this, the order included another book that unfortunately was cancelled. So instead they put in tea bags. I was like, what? So I had to email them and be like, hey, can I get the book instead? Because I don't really want decaf tea bags. Because the way that the order was, they had assumed that I would get this book as well as the other book that I had ordered, which was the Rachel Reed The Long Game, Shane and Ilya's second book in the series of the Game Changers, and I was super looking forward to getting that one, and they unfortunately cancelled the order. But because they had the book and the packaging and everything, they put tea bags in instead, because it was like a roughly around the same size. So I had to check. They did cancel that order. Hopefully I've got the money back. I should probably check to see that they actually reimbursed me with that. But this was supposed to be a gift anyway, so I got the gift that I was meaning to get, which was Queer Transfigurations, Boys Love Media in Asia, and this is edited by James Welker. This is an academic title with essays inside, which I was really looking forward to getting, and it's kind of expensive if you're getting the hardback version. It's like 70, 80, 90 pounds, and even the digital version, if you were going to get a Kindle version of it, it's about 20 to 30 pounds anyway. And so when I saw that this was, I think it was 20 something pounds, just shy of 30, like the next week it was cheaper. So annoying. But my mum bought this for my birthday as a gift, because she said, what do you want? I said, give me some books. And she says, any specific one? And I was like, well, this is a pricey one, but it's academic, so she may be more inclined to get me this. So she was quite happy to buy this for me. Unfortunately, I did not get the male romance one that I actually wanted. But this one will go on the pile. I have two other specifically boys love academic ones. I kind of need to keep an eye out for some other ones that might be available, or ones that are tangentially related. And I do want to have a good read of these as well. So yeah, very happy to have this. It's going to be a good read, but it's going to be one that I think is going to go on my shelf for quite some time before I feel like more more happy and settled with the books that I have already got and reading those ones, as I am about to show you a huge haul that is just going to make me feel more stressed about the books on my shelves. And anyway, this one is a good one. I'm really happy to have it in my collection, and I recommend doing a bit of academic work on BL if you like BL. So here are some of the books that I picked up at charity shops. I did have to go out and about in June to different things, different appointments, things like that. And while I was out and about, I popped into some charity shops. Some charity shops I went into a couple of times, and I did pick up quite a few. These are the first ones I'm going to show you because they are not male romance specific. They're just ones that I have picked up for different prices in different charity shops. So they will be in either the vlogs for Manga Pride Reads or some of the other blogs. I went shopping. I also did my buddy read with Katie, so they will all be in those vlogs as well if you'd like to check them out. So the one at the top, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This is the first volume. I saw that and thought I could get it because I watched Meg with Books, and this is one of her favourite YA murder mystery type ones. It's a 3-volume series with a little extra novella, but I don't really know anything other than it's supposed to be good. We shall see. I picked it up for £1 and then I went to the next charity shop in the street and saw it for 50p. I was like, damn, I could have got it for 50p. The one underneath, The X-Hex by Erin Sterling. This is one that I've seen. It was like really popular last year around October because it was October, and loads of people read it. Some people liked it, some people didn't, but there is an MF romance with some magic, obviously. And I managed to get this one for 50p. So happy to have that one. It's in really good condition, and it was obviously from the works because it's got a wee £3 sticker on, but I got it for 50p. The one underneath, Reputation by Lex Croucher. Lex Croucher has quite a few books out now, and some of them I think are maybe queer male romance. So I've heard of Lex Croucher, but Reputation is one that I've seen everywhere. I almost decided to get it from NetGalley, but I was like, I'm not too sure. But for 50p, I will, take it. I will gladly have it in my collection and see if I can pick it up and read it. It's a Regency era, but maybe with some modern sensibilities. So yeah, very interested in that one. The one underneath, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, I think I got this for £1. This is the Broken Earth Volume 1 out of the trilogy, so loads and loads and loads of people. This has been out for a while, but loads and loads and loads of people are kind of discovering it or reading it on BookTube and have started to be like, hey, why was this not like everywhere when it came out? Maybe because it's written by a black woman, that racism is maybe the answer. But it is apparently amazing, wonderful, incredible, and everyone seems to love it. So it was intriguing to me to hear people talk about it, and so when I saw it in the charity shop for £1, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick that one up. There were quite a few options in that charity shop. The one underneath, Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Sutanto. I've seen this one. I think it's the same person who did The Dial, A for Aunties, but it's like an old 70-year-old lady who decides to do some murder detective work herself, which sounds fun and sort of like cozy murder mystery, but a lot of people have said that this was really good, that they like Jessie Sutanto's work, but I have not read it yet, and I picked it up. I think it was £1 or £2, I can't remember, but it's a really new one. It's quite a new title, and so I'm not sure if it came out this year or last year, but yeah, lots of good things said about that one. And because I did recently read The Thursday Murder Club, I'm open to, and I love Miss Marple. So I'm open to older people, being murder mystery detectives. Over on the other side, another one that I picked up in the same shop, Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, but this particular penguin version, which just is lovely. It's a lovely colour, it's a lovely design, I really like it. And I don't have a copy of Pride and Prejudice here. I have my others in my other collection. And I used to read this volume like every year. I would just reread it since I was 12. I would just reread Pride and Prejudice. Because it's so good. It's just so good. So yeah, it's nice to have a copy, and a lovely copy for the price. And then above that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now I don't read a lot of MF, but I've heard of Emily Henry because I watch BookTube and people talk about Emily Henry, and Beach Read being a good one. And so for a charity shop buy, I thought that's not too bad. I think this was £1 again. I think this was the same place I got the 5th season. So yeah, another one to add to my MF collection. Will I actually ever get round to reading them? I don't know. I've heard some people really like Emily Henry and some people are like, nah. So we'll see. The ones above, that's it, The Lies of Loch Lamora. This is another 50p one that I got, Scott Lynch. I have heard of The Lies of Loch Lamora, but I know nothing about it. I've only heard the title. Is it in any way queer? Let me know. Because sometimes you read synopsis and it doesn't tell you, and then you read the story and you're like, this one's queer as hell. So I want to know what it's about. I read the synopsis at the back and I was like, that doesn't tell me. I need to know. Is it worth reading, or should I just take it back to the charity shop? It was only 50p, so there you go. The one above that is Circe by Madeline Miller. This is quite a popular one. Where did I get this from? I think I also got this for £1 in one of the charity shops. I think I also got this for £1. It's a little bit more beat up, but I think that's fine because it's going to be another Greek retelling, and more focused on women, and I'm okay with that as well. So yeah, I kind of half know the story of Circe, but not 100%. And the ones above that are kind of ones I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sarah Rees Brennan, I thought, why not? I've seen the Demon's Lexicon everywhere, and I saw it in the charity shop. I think I only, 50p, it was 50p. So for 50p, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a go, the Demon's Lexicon. I really need to get a copy of In Other Lands. That is by far the #1 book that I've read this year. So I want a copy. I want my own copy of it. But it's more tricky to get a good price. But yeah, I'll pick this one up and give this a go. And if it's not my thing, then I can always take it back. It's only 50p from the charity shop. And the one above it, I'm super, super happy. Yay! Because I am undertaking my own little collecting treasure hunt. It's my own little thing where I'm picking up the Anita Blake Vampire Hunter novels from Laurel K. Hamilton, but in this red headline version. And this is Micah and Strange Candy, which are like 2 novellas put together. And it's a lot. There's a lot of volumes. I went to W.H. Smith and I found one in W.H. Smith and I was like, wow, I didn't know that they would have any. And I looked in to see what was the list like inside of the series, and it's super long. And I think I've only got about 5 or 6 of these, and I probably have like 20 something to get. So but my goal is to only pick them up when I see them in charity shops. I fear that at some point in time I will need to go out my way to try and see if I can track them down secondhand on like eBay or somewhere else, to get them for good prices. But I am very happy to get another one. It's always good to see them in the wild. Okay, so let's move on to some more charity shop or purchases I made, but this time specifically male romance. So here are 4 more charity shop books that I got. And these are all male romance or have gay characters. So I'm very happy to have them. I didn't go out of my way to get them, but I was planning on it anyway at some point. So I got They Both Die at the end, even though I was like, I'm never buying this. I'm never buying it. It was 40p. It was 40p. So was the My Policeman, which is obviously the movie tie-in cover, which everyone hates. Everyone hates, but it is Harry Styles, so maybe people don't hate it as much. I'm not really that bothered either way about Harry Styles. He's fine for what he is, isn't he? He's fine for what he is. Good luck to him. That's what I say. Good luck to you, young man. And I haven't seen the My Policeman. I do have Prime, so I probably could just watch it. But it might be good to read the novel first. So yeah, those two books I got together for 40p each. Isn't that amazing? And then the other two I got together, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, that particular version. I have another version already on my shelf. Maybe I'm just going to pick up those. I got them from the exact same charity shop. And that was 50p, as was both of these, The Song of Achilles and Carry On, both absolutely brand new, never had their spines cracked. Also 50p for Carry On. And I have, obviously, Carry On. I have a version already, but I may as well get them all. You know, I have the collecting gene within me. And for 50p, I couldn't say no, because I was planning on buying this anyway. I would probably end up having to spend 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever to get it. But an absolutely brand new, never read copy of this one. I'm very, very happy to have in my collection. So The Song of Achilles, I haven't read either. I need to get that one. Neither version have I read. Whereas at least with Carry On, I've read the book. I have read it. So yeah, these are 4 that I picked up from charity shops, either costing 40 or 50p. What an amazing bargain. I'm so happy. I got some amazing bargains. But I think either something being free or a gift or 40 or 50p. I think they are really good prices. So yeah, happy to have these in my collection as well. Now we're going to be moving on to some male romance prose that I picked up. Specifically, I bought them. I bought them either online or in the shop. I didn't just happen across them. I actually actively chose them from a shop or online. And this is the first one. It's The Problem with Perfect by Philip William Stover. And I have no idea who this is or what this book's about. But it was only £3 when I went into the works. And I wanted to buy something anyway. So I was like, oh, I'll have a wee look to see. And they did have a really good selection. Some of the books that I've already picked up from the works before, like Cemetery Boys, Red, White and Royal Blue, that kind of thing. So they had a really good selection. So if you don't, fancy going into Waterstones and spending quite a lot of money, go into the works. They actually do have quite a lot of good, very popular books that are all over BookTube. And you can go and see what the fuss is about. I almost bought, what is it, the Atlas Paradox? I have an audio copy anyway, so I could read it, but it might be nice to read it. And my library isn't always the best at picking things up ASAP and having it available for people who might be interested. Whereas this one I'd never heard of, but it was one of the male romance ones that I hadn't already purchased. So I was quite surprised and happy to see it. And I have no idea. So if you've read it, or if you've heard anything about it, I'd love to know. What's the problem with Perfect? I don't know anything about it, but it's going to go on my shelf anyway. Okay, the next single one that I bought online. I bought it through World of Books or WOB. I bought a lot through World of Books this month. That's pretty much where I've been getting a lot of my things. Like, unfortunately, I went over to their own website, and I'm letting you know now, guys. It's a treasure trove, because they do deals on eBay, but they also do deals on like Amazon Marketplace and things. But then their own website actually does a lot of deals that are better. And I have Honey installed on my computer, so it automatically gave me all of these codes for discounts. And they also had special deals on this past month of like buy 3 under £5 get the 4th free. So I'm gonna tell you now, I got a lot of things for under £5, and I got a lot of free things and a lot of things even cheaper than it would have been if I bought it on another site because I bought it directly from World of Books. World of Books, chef's kiss, thank you very much for enabling me to break my no buy book month. It's been hell, guys. It's been hell because I just found so many amazing things, and I'm gonna keep on using it, and I don't care. Anyway, this first one is another Carry On. I know, but like I said, I was planning on buying these different versions anyway. Still not the version I need to complete my 3-volume set. I'm gonna end up having to spend a bit of money probably getting that lovely floral hardback cover for Carry On. But I now have 3 carry-ons and not the one I want. So I have these lovely hardbacks for the rest of the series, but not the hardback floral design one that I need. But yeah, I do have a paperback, another paperback, and this old hardback, which is in really good condition. I picked it up for £3.44. £3.44! I'm so pleased. Because it is in such good condition, because I did wonder whether or not I was going to get one in a good condition or not. But this is in fantastic condition. It's got the little ribbon, it's got the maps inside, it's really good. So I'm very, very happy. This is the version that I got from my library. I actually got 2 versions from my library, but the one that I actually sat and read from was the hardback version, and I really enjoyed it. Felt good, felt like they had enough of like good quality binding and things like that. So I'm happy to have this one added to my collection for such a good price. Now, this isn't technically male romance. It is a transgender woman and a man, a lady for a duke. It's been everywhere since last year. It's been probably Alexis Hall's biggest and most popular seller for a couple of years, and that includes last year's husband material. I think A Lady for a Duke actually did better. Let me know what you think, because I saw this everywhere, because it was 2 different copies, 2 different cover versions, and then they've just had another version released just this month, a mass market paperback version with a beautiful cover as well. So all of the covers are beautiful. They basically got the same cover model and have just made 3 lovely covers. Probably worth collecting them all. No. But this was actually a 12 and 12 recommendation from Jen, and I knew I wanted to pick one up, a copy of it anyway. So when I had the chance, and it was in really good condition and really good price, this one I picked up for £4. I mean, it's amazing. It's in absolutely perfect condition for £4. And I know that with the other ones being released and the other versions available, I could have picked up a different one, but this one was super cute. I think it was even more expensive, and I got it for cheaper because I had like a 20% code off, that kind of thing. So literally everything I'm going to tell you that I got from World of Books, which was this, I got everything discounted, more than it was even already discounted. So yeah. cackle in cheapness. But yeah, for £4 I'm really happy, because this is something that I planned to read at some point in time this year anyway. I planned to buy at some point this year, so I'm very happy that I got it for only £4. Now, here are the next 2 that I have actually purchased and went on my way. I wanted a hardback version of Dark Rise, but I haven't been able to pick one up. And when I saw this for really cheap, I think it was supposed to be £3 something, £3 something. I was like, yep, add to cart, especially because it was like new condition. I was like, yes, thank you, I will have that. And then also, because I was looking at CS Pacat, I saw the Australian version of King's Rising, which are slightly bigger trim size, and I actually prefer this Australian version than the other version that they have in the UK. So I would like to eventually pick up the other 2 volumes of the Captive Prince trilogy that are from the Australian printers. These ones I just like. I like them a lot. So yeah, considering how good like quality they are and the price that I got them for, it's amazing. So like I said, World of Books were doing buy 3 get the 4th for free on books under £5. So this Dark Rise was under £5. This King's Rising was under £5. It was, I think, £4.80, and Dark Rise was £3.60. That's it. I mean, these are amazing prices, but because I bought them as the 4 for 3 deal, it meant that Dark Rise was actually no cost at all. It was the free one, so it was the cheapest one in the 4 that I purchased, and it meant that I basically got it for free. But if you want to, and I sometimes do this, if I buy a job lot and you get something for free, I total up the other 3 volumes, what the cost was, and then I average them out across the 4. So if you take the total that I spent for the 4 volumes, averaged it out, it would mean that each of these volumes was £3.26. So £4.80 or £3.26, 0 or £3.26, or the £3.60 that it was supposed to be for Dark Rise. So yeah, it's kind of like, how do I want to decide how much each of these costs? Do I want to say that Dark Rise was nothing and King's Rising was £4.80, or do I want to say that they were both £3.26? Because that's kind of how it averages out. Either way, they are amazing prices. £3.26? Are you kidding me? Especially because these Australian versions are generally much more expensive. They're like up to £15 or something like that. And of course, Dark Rise, I think you could probably get it for about £8, £9, £10, depending on when, at what point. I could have gotten a hardback copy for £12, I think, £12.99, brand new, and I was like, I really want it, but I was busy reading other things, and now I'm like, oh, but I want to read it, because the second volume has just been announced with a title and cover reveal, and it looks really exciting and interesting. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy. Should I just wait for all 3 of them to be out and then just binge it like I did with the Captive Prince trilogy, or should I enjoy it as it comes out? Because I very rarely do that, and I feel like I'm missing that. Sometimes do you wait and binge, or do you read as something comes out? Because then you have to sit around and wait for this next volume, which is annoying, but at the same time it gives you your life purpose. Anyway, I'd love to know what do? Do you read everything, or do you read it as it comes out? Anyway, these were amazing prices. I'll show you what else I got. Okay, so now we're on to prose, which is more tangentially related to BL. This is Sarazanmai novels, volumes 1 and 2. This is by Kunihiko Ikuhara and Teruko Utsumi. I do not own any Sarazanmai, because I know that there's the Reo and Mibu, and an anthology as well. So I need to add them onto my list to get. I have not watched Sarazanmai. I know, I try and avoid Ikuhara's work, if I'm honest, because I tried watching a few things and gone, oof. like some of it's like, oh, I'm not too sure how much I want to. It's weird, it's odd, but it's also like hard hitting, and generally there's a bit of trauma there, I definitely think. Anyway, I'm happy to have these. These are light novels, and I picked them both up for £4.88 for volume 1 and £4.80 for the volume 2. They were supposed to be, I think, a little bit more, but like I said, everything that I got from World of Books was discounted further with either a 10, 15 or 20% discount. Everything I bought. So yeah, this is going to go on the shelf. It's going to be, another light novel to add to my very small light novels. But I will eventually get round to reading them. I don't know if I should read them first and then watch the anime. That might be. Or should I just watch the anime? I don't know. Anyway, I do have the other 2, Reo and Mibu and the anthology to get. So they're on my list to purchase at some point. And I don't know if I'll be able to get them for the same kind of amazing prices you know, less than £5 per volume. But these are pretty good, happy to have them. On to some more prose, but this time it's Danme, and I have Heaven Official's Blessing, Tianguan Sifu by MXTX. This is volumes 3, 4 and 5. I have not been making it a huge priority to pick these up just because I have already read it, but I know I'm going to get them at some point, and I also know that other than Scum Villain, these aren't completed yet. So yeah, Heaven Official's Blessing has just had, was it volume 6 or volume 7? The artwork released for that, so it's not completed. So I haven't been like, oh, I must pick these up, because I can't binge the whole thing, and as you know, I kind of like to binge things. I mean, I binged it the first time, so not being able to binge it like this would be like, this is weird, this is weird. But oh, let me tell you the prices. Let me tell you the prices of these. Okay, let's see. HOB volume 3, I paid £6.30. For volume 4, I paid £7.80. And for volume 5, I paid £5.20. Should I just let you sit with that? Whoop, whoop. Why am I so happy about getting bargains? I don't know why. It's just part of me. It's part of my, it's inbuilt within me. I love it when I get a good bargain. And so I got all of these volumes for less than £8 each. I mean, less than £8, less than £7, less than £6. That's amazing, because these are around the 12. If you're getting a good bargain from Amazon, you're getting it for £12.99, and so getting it half price is like, yes. And these are obviously second-hand ones, but they're like new versions, or they were in the new anyway. They had extra stock, so they were selling these for amazing prices. I did check it out like a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh wow, and then I went back and it was a different price. So I didn't think that they would do this. So I'm going to continue to check World of Books website for NXTX for the next few months, just to see if there's any of the volumes that I don't have for a good price. I am unfortunately missing volume 2 now, so I have volume 1, 3, 4, 5. I will need to try and keep my eye out for volume 2 so that I can carry on at volume 6, and I think volume 7 now. Is it volume 7? There's a lot. So yeah, managing to get all of these for such amazing prices, I'm really, really happy. So yeah, these are going to get on my Danme shelf now. Now, a Danme that has finished is Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, Modal Zushu. This is volume 5, and as you can see, it's covered in plastic because it's the special edition. It's covered in plastic, and it has all of the extras inside. I'm like, what? Oh, just you wait. Okay, drum roll please. How much did I pay? How much did I pay for the special edition, which I was going to order, and then I was so annoyed that I didn't get the Scum Villain special, even though I pre-ordered it. I didn't get Scum Villain Volume 4, and I was like, erg. How dare you? I don't know, maybe they made extras, I don't know. But maybe I should have just gone to World of Books back then. But I got this for £6.72. The special edition version. What? Like, it just tickles me pink. It tickles me pink to have this and to have it for such an amazing price, and to be like, no, I'm not going to, because you know what, they probably won't have it and I won't get it. I'll be disappointed. And so yeah, it was just sitting there for, I think it was like £7 something, and I got a 10 or 20% discount code. So yeah, £6.72. Like what? I'm still in shock, because this is supposed to be, you know, like 15, 18, I think it was supposed to be. Something like that. £18 if you were pre-ordering it from any of the bookstores. Amazon, Waterstones, Blackwell's. Yeah, anywhere. And no, I got it for less than £7. So I'm really chuffed. But it does mean that I now need to pick up the other volumes. I have volume 1 and volume 5. So 2, 3 and 4. are now on my list of trying to see if I can get a copy for a good price. And eventually I will have to take the plastic off and actually be like, hey, what did I get? Because I don't think I'll bother doing that until I'm actually sitting and reading it, and I will do that when I have all the other copies so that I can actually binge it. But that's it's a good one. It's a good one at a good price. So these are all the pros that I've picked up so far in June. Yeah, there might be something in the post. Shh. It's not going to be in this haul anyway. You're not going to see it, so I don't need to say anything. So yeah, this is quite a lot of pros that I picked up this month. A lot of them for charity shops, but also a lot that I've actually gone out of my way to be like, oh, that's a really good buy. And like Rin said, if you come across an amazing bargain, why wouldn't you just pick it up? You would, wouldn't you? So to hell with no buy months. I also did a little bit of a review of my spending after 3 months, so January, February, March. I did like a spring review on just my pros. I was starting it on my manga and I felt really bad and I didn't want to finish the video. And at this point in time of the year, I'm supposed to do like another one, like a summer check-in of my spending and what I've bought, and I don't want to do it. Anyway, I have quite a nice stack of manga to show you. Shall we just get in with it? The manga. Okay, so the first one I have is not actually a manga, it is a graphic novel, and this is C.S. Pacat, Joanna the Mad, and Joanna La Fuente, Fence Rise Volume 5. I picked this up from Amazon because it was reduced down. Boom! Amazing. I think this has been £10-ish for months. This came out last summer, August I think it was, for everyone in the US and Canada, and then it came out for us in the UK in October, and I was like, I really want to get it, but I don't want to spend £10 on it. So when it was reduced down to £5.64, I was like, yes please, thank you very much, I will have it for £5.64, and this is brand new from Amazon. So it does warrant a reread of Fence, and because they're quite thin and slim, I think it would be quite easy for me to just reread volumes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump on into volume 5 and be like, yay. They have just announced, I think, volume 6. And it looks like they made a little advert for it and everything, so that looks pretty good. So I'm excited that I was able to pick up volume 5 just as they were announcing that. Literally, it was like almost the same day. It was great that it's arrived, and they also were like, hey, volume 6 is going to come soon. So happy about that. This one is going to get read as soon as I can reread the rest. Now this is another one that's not quite a traditional manga, manhwa, that kind of thing, because this was based on an animated story that was produced by, am I going to be able to say this? Bong Bang Q? I don't know how to pronounce that, so if someone could help me, that'd be good. And this is, of course, Hyperventilation. So it's a bit like stills from an animation made into a comic, which is, it's kind of old-fashioned, isn't it? It's like from back in the day. It's like, oh, I know, this anime is really popular with the kids. All we need to do is screenshot it, put in the speech bubbles, and boom, you've got yourself a comic. And so this is pretty much the same thing, right? So yeah, it's very short for what it is, because like I said, it's very much like screenshots. I mean, that's the person who made this put in a lot of effort to make the animated version, and I would like a physical copy of it. Because it's smexy. But I got this for a really good price. Tokyopop generally is kind of pricey in the UK. They're just like, yeah, we're going to charge you whatever the hell we like. Which is why also I haven't been buying a lot of Tokyopop. It's definitely, I've got a big list of Tokyopop titles to get. And Hyperventilation was one of them, but I managed to pick up for £5.99. This is from eBay. I got this from, I think it was We Buy Books or one of those other ones. So yeah. Or maybe it was even World of Books, but it wasn't available on their website, but it was available on eBay. Maybe. But yeah, for £5.99, happy days, because that's a good price for a Tokyopop title, especially all the new Love ones. So yeah, This one I need to read. I haven't read it yet, but as I said, I have watched the animated version. It was all over the internet at different points in time. It's been taken down because they were trying to actually make it so that they could sell it to foreign fans and that the creator could actually make a profit instead of it being pirated. But it was severely pirated when it first came out. The person who makes this animation also does other ones as well, and I think unfortunately because of that, the piracy aspect, they're not making the money that they need to make to be able to fully invest their time in doing it. So I would like to get a copy. Unfortunately, due to piracy, I think it was taken down. If you have a way of getting it, if you know the way of getting it with English subtitles, I would very much appreciate it, because I have tried to find it at different times. And at one point I think you could get it, but you had to go through like a Chinese proxy buyer, something like that. Even though it did have like loads of different subtitles. Yeah. Anyway, it's an anime that I would like to have a physical copy of. I'm happy to have this one for such a good price. This one is one that I was kind of surprised at the size of it. It's kind of a dinky little thing, but it's hardback. And I've been meaning to get it for a while, and that is My Brother's Husband, Volume 1. There's a Volume 2 by Gengoro Tagame. And I think because it's published by a publisher that I don't really know very much about. Is it Pantheon? Pantheon. So that's kind of why it's slipped under my radar for such a long time, because I've known about it and I've seen it, and I'd be like, oh, I need to get that, I need to pick that one up. But because it's not by one of the more traditional manga publishers, it's kind of just fell by the wayside. I know that they have the 2 volumes in hardback, and I think they have like an omnibus, which is a larger trim size, and it might be paperback. And I don't know which one would be a better one to get. This particular volume is not in perfect condition. It's still in pretty good condition. It's still pretty good nick. But it's not in perfect condition. But I did manage to pick it up for, I think it was like £4 something, but you have to pay shipping. So it was £6.49, which is still pretty good. But for the condition it's in, I mean, it's quite good. Also, I just was so surprised at how small and dinky it is. It's like just a proper little book size, which is odd because it's paperback, hardback. So it's like, it's just weird. It just feels weird. But yeah, I now will need to keep an eye out for Volume 2. I know that it's a award winning. Everyone loved it. It was great. It had so many positive reviews. So I have been wanting to get this and have a good read of it. Gengoro Tagame is such a huge name in geikomi circles, so a lot of the geikomi stuff didn't really make it over in the same way that the BL does, and I think hopefully that's going to be changing, because I think demographics and what people are looking for, there should be just more variety. You should be able to have and get what you want. And this is one of those that was made a big splash when it came out, but of course, like I said, it's not from a traditional BL or even manga publisher, so that's why I kind of forgot about it. It was kind of on my list, but I didn't ever write it down, so happy to have this one. And yeah, I'll need to put Volume 2 on my list now. I now have The Betrayal Knows My Name, Volume 2 by Hotaru Odagiri. This is a Yen Press title. There are 8 volumes for these. These were, I think they were omnibus volumes. So technically I think this would be volumes 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I have Volume 1 and Volume 2 now, which is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. But yeah, 8 volumes from Yen Press. And they are a little bit more tricky to find now, which is annoying. Every once in a while I'll come across one. But this one I got for a really good price. It was £4.14. Well, actually it was more expensive than that, but I got a discount. So it became £4.14, but then it was part of one of those buy a certain number and you get it cheap, so this would be £3.26. So along with King's Rising and Dark Rise, this would be £3.26 if I averaged out. And I'm pretty happy with that. £3.26 is amazing, because these volumes are generally a little bit more expensive to get hold of now. They're a little bit more tricky to get hold of, all of the volumes, without paying through the nose for some of them. And it's not something I'm going to do, but it's one of those series that I'm happy to slowly purchase as and when I find a volume I don't have for a good price. I could have purchased the full 8-volume set for about 50 quid a few years ago, and you know, it's non-buyer's remorse. So always when you don't buy it, you're like, damn it, and I would have had it by now. But I didn't. I was like, no, it's fine, I can probably get them for cheap. No, should have just got the whole set. That's just how it is. But yeah, happy to have this. I have read volume 1, I think. Have I? I mean, I've had it in my collection for a while. I think I've read it. So yeah, I could maybe do a reread of volume 1, and the anime as well. You can watch the anime. There's always an anime for these BL-esque ones, and this is definitely one of the BL-esque ones. But yeah, for such a good price, happy to have this and add to my series that I've just kind of left and not actually put any effort into collecting. Just to complete the set of the 4 that I got for 3, so that were £3.26 if you averaged them out. This one was supposed to be £4.41. That was with the discount, but if you average it out, it was £3.26. You Are My Happiness by, is it Bukuro Yamada? And this is a Kuma title. And I didn't notice from the artwork until it arrived that the boy on the ground has like devil wings and a tail, and I'm like, oh, is there a devil? Yay! I was so much more excited when I spotted those features. When I was just like 2 guys in a pile of rubbish, meh, it'll probably be alright, because Yamada's work is kind of a bit weird. The Melting Lover one was full of weird stories, but they weren't bad. They weren't. They just were interesting, and they made me think, and I liked that. So I did want to. I know Bazaar has said that this was a really good one, so I'm looking forward to reading it. You Are My Happiness by Kuma. Kuma's always perfect, amazing, wonderful quality. Such good quality. Kuma just does it so well. They are my absolute like pinnacle. They are the ones that do the best quality stuff. Not necessarily always the choice of the work. They're always interesting and different and pretty unique, and I'm happy about that too, because you know you're going to get something different, but you're going to get good quality. So yeah, £3.26 or £4.41. And I've added another Kuma. I'm really happy because Kuma don't put out a lot, so from a collector's point of view, that's good for me. Because I'm like, don't put out too much, I can't catch up then. So yeah, this is one of the ones they've had out for a while. It does mean that I am slowly adding more Kuma and slowly getting to the point where I will have caught up with Kuma, which would be nice. So yeah, happy about this one, and I'm looking forward to reading it. Now, talking about ones that are putting out stuff that I'm not catching up with, Seven Seas. This is a Seven Seas title, Restart After Growing Hungry, and this is the volume 2 of this 2-volume series of Restart After Coming Home, I think is the first one. This is a Kokomi story. I did pick this up for a really good price. It was £6.32, so happy days. But it is volume 2 in a 2-volume series, and I don't have volume 1, so I can't read it, which is annoying. I think this also has a live action drama. Does it? I think it does. Maybe. There's quite a few things that do have like either live actions or anime. A lot of the things that we get in English have adaptations. So I don't know, I'll have to check to see. But I probably won't watch it until I get the first volume. So I'll have to keep an eye out for this. And the thing is, a lot of Seven Seas ones, you don't necessarily get them for great discounts. So yeah, and of course in the UK, prices are going up, everything's going up. But I'm after the bargains. So yeah, this one looks like one I'm going to enjoy. So it looks like one I'm going to love. But I can't read it. I hate that. I hate having things in my collection. I'm like, yeah, well, I don't have that volume, so I can't read it yet. So yeah, this is one that I've now added to my collection to give me frustration that I can't read. But it is in really good condition, and I got it for a really good price, so I'm happy about that. Now, one I can read and I'm super excited about having is obviously again, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, the comic. This is obviously by MXTX, but the art is by, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say this, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. Elu Di Chung Chi? Chung Chi? I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will need to find out how to pronounce that, because this is volume 1 and volume 2 just got released. And volume 2's cover is just super cute looking. It's super cute looking, and I'm like, oh, I need to get that. I haven't read this yet. It just kind of, you know, a lot of what has arrived this month I haven't read because I've been reading what I purchased previously in the year, and I needed to do that for my sanity. But yeah, this is definitely going to be one that I can read straight away. It's volume 1, guys. I love a volume 1. Yay! Makes me so happy to have this in the collection because it is really good quality. I'm really happy that Seven Seas have put in these like French flaps, and it's good, solid quality. It feels good, and the printing and everything feels good. And I was excited to be able to have these. I wonder if we're going to get, is it Star Embers? I don't know how to say that, but the Heaven Official's Blessing one, I think that would be quite good to have as well. I don't know if they've announced that. I know they are announcing things all the time, and once again, this is a Seven Seas title, and I don't feel like I'm catching up with Seven Seas. I feel like I was at a certain point up to date, and they've just boom released a glut of things, and I feel like I've fallen behind in my collecting. It's kind of sad, but I will make my list and make sure that I'm keeping up to date, but still trying to get the bargains. Did I say how much I got this for? I don't know if I did. Oh no, I didn't, and I got it for a really good price, guys. I got it for £6.16. This is just full of me giggling like a maniac. This whole video is just me giggling like a cheap maniac. Because I keep forgetting, like, oh yeah, did I tell you? I got this for an amazing bargain. Yeah, £6.16. Can you believe it? No, me neither. No. Because this is in perfect condition. This is brand new condition. I think it was still just being classed as brand new. Because World of Books do sell things brand new as well as second hand. So I think this was just like, we've got lots of stock, we're gonna have to put the price down. And yeah, I'll take that. Thank you very much. I think it was probably £7 something or something like that, and I got for 20% off or something like that. I always use your honey, use your vouchers. You get so much better prices. So yeah, £6.16. Amazing. I'm so happy that I can just now read this. As soon as I sit down, I can be like, mwahaha. Oh, but the second volume's cover artwork just looks delightful, and I really now want to prioritize getting these comic versions. Obviously for a good price, but as close to them coming out as possible. Now on to one that I picked up not from World of Books. This is an Amazon purchase. One that I am quite happy with because I had this on my like in my shopping cart for a while. It went down to £7 something, so £7 something. I thought, oh, I'll put that in my shopping cart, and then the price dropped and the price dropped, and it was like £7.70, and then it was £7.60, and then it was £7.40, and I was like, oh, I definitely need to buy it. I need to buy it now, even though I've only got volumes 1 and 3, and I'm not reading them because I don't have the other volumes and I need to pick them up. But I need to get them when they're good bargains for me to sit there and actually be able to read it all. Anyway, volume 7 I think is out now. Everyone's really excited about it. But volume 6, I was like, oh, good price. And then it, boom, went straight back up again. And unfortunately, I was like, oh, well, I guess I won't get it. But they decided to, like 2 days later, drop the price down pretty much like Fence, £5.47. And I was like, oh, I cannot say no to £5.47 for this volume, because this is usually £10.99 or £11 or even £12. And that's expensive for how thin this is. It doesn't feel like it's worth the money until it goes to like an amazing price like £5.47. And I'm like, yes, I will have that. I will have you now. You have been deemed worthy of the price. So yeah, this one I got purchased. There's a couple of other things in my shopping cart at the moment that keep fluctuating in price. And there's a few things I need to get. They're still there, but this one was one that eventually made it home, which is good. My Amazon shopping cart is just one of those weird places where things go to hang out until I can find it for a better price, just to remind me, hey, you haven't bought me yet. And this was in there for a while. But yeah, so it eventually made its way home. £5 is amazing for one of these Square Enix volumes. There's not a lot in Square Enix when it comes to BL. They only have Cherry Magic, and then in terms of gay stories, they have I Think Our Son Is Gay, and that's the other one that I'd like to pick up from Square Enix. There's not a lot on Square Enix that I'm excited about, but those are the two. So Square Enix, you can take your time. I will eventually collect you all, but they're not putting out loads, so I'm happy. Thanks, Square Enix. Now, before we get into the Sublime titles to show, and also the very last and most exciting thing to show in this haul, I probably should have said that in the intro, that there is something incredibly exciting, although I did say at the end of the last one. But this is Merman in My Tub. This is volume 4 and 5, and this is story and art by Ito Kichi, and this is another 7 Seas title. So I've added another series, incomplete, to my collection that I'm going to have to collect. And this is a bit tricky because this has been out for quite some time, and I did mean to pick it up when it first started coming out. It's not BL, it's Monster Boys. And I'm okay with that because it definitely has that same sense as like A Polar Bear in Love, which is another one that I need to collect. But yeah, so these were so cheap, I could not say no. They were part of the buy 3 get the 4th for free, and so these were under £5 originally, £4.20 each, but with the average total it became £3.30. So picking up these volumes for £3.30 sounds like a good deal. I will keep my eye out for volumes 1 and 2 and 3, and I think, is it 7 or is it 9? I'll have to check to see how many volumes there are in the series. I think it was only 7. Maybe it's 9. But yeah, Merman in My Tub. I think this was a short, was it short anime as well? I'm trying to remember, but I think it was. Like most things, if it has an anime, then you might get the adaptation in the manga form. So yeah, another one added to my collection that I am incomplete and can't really read, which is annoying and it's frustrating, but for such a good price, I couldn't say no. Okay, so these are all of the Sublime titles that I picked up this month, all for really good prices. We'll start with Sayonara Game and Black or White. Sayonara Game's Minaduki Yu, and this is the first volume that I needed to get to be able to read Change World, and before I even start thinking about collecting Love Nest. And so I'm really happy because it's like a volume 1 in the series, yay! Which means I can read it, and it also means it unlocks the other volumes. I can read volumes 1 and 2 of Change World, yay! So this one volume means I can read 3. It's perfect. And I got this as part of this 3 for 4, or 4 for 3 I should say, and then I got this for £3.30. This was part of that, which was really good, as was Black or White. But this is volume 2, Sachimo's title, and this was the cheapest one, so it would have been £4.10, but I got it for nothing. But because it averages out over the other 4 volumes altogether, it's £3.30 as well. So I think that's quite a good deal. But unfortunately it is volume 2, and I have not picked up any of the Black or White volumes previously. I have seen them, they've just generally will go on sale. I could probably pick them up for £6.99 in most places, which is a good price, and I'm happy to get it for £6.99. But if I can get it for £3.30 or nothing, that's much better. But yeah, Sachimo's work, I wish that we could have got, is it Kashkamari Mashita Destiny? but we're getting this one instead, which is fine. But a bit of Omegaverse, love a bit of Omegaverse. So yeah, happy to add another title to collect, but it does mean that I can't read this one. Boo. And it does mean I'm gonna have to up my collecting game on that one. I say as I'm desperately trying not to spend money or buy things. There's something wrong with me. Anyway, on to the next one. This is Bad Boys Happy Home Volume 1. A Volume 1, yay! Story by Showa and art by Hiromasa Okujima, who I think has some other works that kind of are BL-esque, or I don't know. They don't necessarily have the art style that's BL art style, but the stories are interesting, and I think that's fine. That's fair enough. This one is good because I do have volume 3. Unfortunately, I don't have volume 2, so I still can't read the series as a whole. It's only a 3-volume series. Boo. But I can read at least volume 1 of it. So yeah, I managed to pick this one up for £5.28, which is still pretty good because, like I said, some of the Sublime titles, some, not all, like Sayonara Game generally is not £6.99, but Black or White, Bad Boys Happy Home, you can get them for £6.99 depending on what time of the year, what seller, that kind of thing. Like at the moment, you can get Given Volume 7, is it? For £6.99. But, you know, in a couple of weeks' time, they might bump it up to £7 something. I'm like, no. Whereas Dig Fight Island on the end there has never been £6.99. Volume 1 you can get for £6.99, but Volume 2, no one is putting that down to £6.99. I know, I check all the time. I check these prices. I double check these prices. So yeah, I'm aware that certain titles, like Finder, for example, Finder will never be £6.99 unless it's like, we have 12 copies of something and it's been out for 4 years, let's put the price down. And even then it's just going to be for a brief short time. But, you know, you have to be there ready and waiting to buy it. Anyway, Dig Fight Island Volume 2, Ike Rebun, is generally a bit pricier. So if you can get it for £6.99, that's brilliant. I got it for £6 and £7. It was even cheaper, but then you have to add on £2 something for shipping. So, and this was through Abe Books, I think I got it from. So yeah, this one I got from Abe Books, as I did with My Brother's Husband. So those two were Abe Book ones. Bad Boys Happy Home, I think that was a World of Books, as we had 3. So yeah, Sublime. I am not a million miles behind. I feel like I'm still just trying to catch up though, because I'm not at the pre-order or buy as soon as something comes out kind of stage yet. I'm still collecting things that are out of print, but there's less and less things to get out of print now, as we move on to the very last, final, and most amazing thing that I have picked up this month. Here it is, the special thing, the special thing that I'm super, super excited and happy to have. It is the most expensive thing that I've purchased this month, and technically I kind of purchased it last month and it was just taking its time to get here. So yeah, this was like a May purchase that I got in June, and it is very special because it completes a publisher, and I have completed another publisher. This is Princess Plus by Mikio Tsuda, and this is a Doki Doki title, and this was the last thing on my list to get for Doki Doki, so I have now, in my mind, I have completed Doki Doki, yay! I think there's only Alice the 101st, but I never felt any need to get that or desire to get it, and it is quite difficult to get the 4-volume series, and when I looked into it, it's very much like Millennium Prime Minister, which I didn't really need to get. I probably shouldn't have bothered getting as a shoujo title, and it's not BL at all. So yeah, this is the last one for Doki Doki. I have completed my Doki Doki collection. Yay! I'm super excited about this. This was kind of pricey, but compared to the other costs that I've seen for this particular volume, I'm happy to pay it. It's £18 and 32 pence, which, ooh, hurts my soul. But then when I think about how much I've spent this month anyway, it doesn't make me feel that bad. Because it is a big deal. It's a big deal. This is a huge pat on the back for me. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I feel so good. So yeah, that is another one done. I have to go through my head, like Kitty Media, done. That's amazing. Drama Queen, done. 801, done. Blue, done. Dew, done. Doki Doki, done. Is that 6? That's six BL publishers, out of print publishers that I have completed. And when it comes to June manga, if you discount all of the new stuff that's getting published, the older titles, out of print titles that I need to get, Kurashina Sensei Volume 2, you bastard, and Kazuna Volume 3. Like, everyone, I hate it. I just have those 2 to get. I have yaoi novels to complete as well, which are very difficult to get hold of. But I would very, very much like to get all of the June manga stuff ticked off so that I can concentrate on getting the newer June manga stuff. That would make me feel better. Luckily, once again, June manga don't publish too much new stuff. And some of the new stuff that they're publishing, I already purchased because it was part of the stupid Kickstarter campaign, and I bought like one of the biggest tiers for a foreigner investor as well. I'm not going to see any of those books for the next, I don't know, 5 or 10 years. I'm so annoyed with them. And the thing is, the reason I backed the campaign for that one anyway wasn't for the main books that are out now, Pure Love Sexy Time, because I have them digitally. It was for the extra psychedelical title, Chocolate Strawberry Vanilla. They have the license for that, and they haven't published it. By the time it finally comes out, people are going to be like, what? I was like, but this was the #1 BL manga from, like, I don't know, was it 2015 or 2014 or something like that? It was like Chill Awards #1 BL manga. They have the license. They just don't put the money into it. What a bunch of idiots. Anyway, in terms of my completionist tendencies, I am once again very happy that I have completed another one. So yeah, Doki Doki have a bit of an arranged, or like some of the titles are quite explicit, some of the titles are not, some of the titles are shoujo, some of the titles were BL. It kind of felt like Doki Doki started as something and then morphed into something else, and they weren't ever really sure what constituted a Doki Doki title versus an 801 title, which is supposed to be more explicit, I think, and what constituted a June DMP. You know, all of these imprints, and it's like, well, what are they supposed to be for? So I don't know what Doki Doki was supposed to be for. Was it supposed to be love? I don't know. Cutesy? I don't know. Or was it supposed to be like slashable, not quite BL? I don't know. Some of them are more racy than others. But Princess Plus has been a difficult one to get hold of. I followed a particular volume on eBay for over a year that was priced at 100 and something pounds, and then one day it went down to 14, and I was just shy of getting it. I was like, damn. I got outbid a couple of times on a volume. So yeah, this has been a tricky one to get hold of, so I'm really, really pleased to have it. It's a big deal. I sound not quite as excited as I probably should do, but I have had this sitting in my house for a month now. When I first got it, I was like, woohoo, jumping around. So yeah, I've had some time to sit with the joy of this, and I'm only showing it and sharing it with you now, but I have had this sitting there at the bottom of the pile for a long time as I accumulated more stuff on top. But and the most expensive thing, £18.32. So yeah, like I said, there's not too many out of print things to get. Chifu Miyochi's Breathe. I don't have any of them. So yeah, there's a few things more and I will need to properly get my list up. Video will be forthcoming, I promise, but I'm taking a long time editing a few things. So yeah, collection videos and stuff like that as well. And an announcement video, hopefully, fingers crossed, will also be coming. So yeah, Princess Plus, really good. Let's see what I got all together, shall we? Will it fit on this little mini table? I don't know if it will. So these are all the ones that I'm kind of excited and that fit my collection a bit more. So I have all of my graphic novels and manga. I think it was 15 volumes. Then I have the light novels and danmei, which I'm super excited about having. And then at the back there you can see all of the sort of male romance or queer titles that I picked up either through purchasing them or finding them in a charity shop. But then I have to add on all my other books as well. I don't know if I have space. Let's see. I'm going to give it a go though. There we go. That's everything. It's pretty big, isn't it? So that's 42 volumes. 42 volumes this month. Whoa. Pretty bad, isn't it? 42 volumes. 15 of them were manga or graphic novels, that kind of thing. And then we've got what's that, 6 light novel danmei as well, and then a mixture of queer and non-queer books. I would consider the Laurel K. Hamilton definitely on the queer spectrum, because that was a bit of an eye-opener for me back in the day. These were all written, I don't talk a lot about it, but they were all written back in like the 90s, and she did have a lot of queer characters in the story. Anita, I think herself, she ends up, I don't know, because it's been a long time, maybe she would be considered pansexual. She's certainly poly, and that was kind of like, wow, for me as a fairly young reader, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah. Anyway, that's my June haul, and it's bad, right? I feel so bad. Give me some love in the comments, because I feel really bad about myself right now looking at this pile, because I don't know where to put it all. Like the Sublime manga, that's fine, the drawer space is there, but the other ones, there's definitely some things like it's gonna be a squeeze in some of these. It's gonna be difficult to squeeze some of these into my bookshelf space as well. But yeah, as soon as I do, I should probably get the collection video finished. So yeah, that's still to come. I do have a few things, and like I said, I do have a little announcement video. Hopefully that will be good, and I'll be able to put that up sometime in July, so look forward to that. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing in July. I'm going to be very busy with life stuff as well, so fingers crossed for my life stuff. And hopefully less books. Just that's all I'm hoping for. Less books next month. Less books. Like I said, there might be something on the way, but this is something I'm really excited about. And I said that last month, didn't I? Like a broken record. But this is going to be a really long video, and I don't care. It's going to be long because there was a lot of things to talk about. And like I said, there's a lot of really great books for brilliant prices, from being either 0 or 40p, 50p, a pound, all the way up to the most expensive, 18, which is by far the most expensive. That's like £10 more than anything else. So yeah, all really good bargains. And even if you totaled all this up, which I don't want to just now, I'm not going to just now, it wouldn't be anywhere near as much as you'd think it would be for the amount. Plus, Princess Plus is right there, screaming at me, hey, well done, pat on the back, you're doing really well. Sweetie, you're doing really well. So yeah, you're doing really well, sweeties, would be great in the comments. Or, yeah, this is just a tired, sad person emoji. Put that down in the comments, because that's what I'm feeling just now. Yeah, this this June has been really fun. It's been great. I've read a lot of what I own. I've done really well with that, and I'm feeling positive about that as well. So generally fairly positive. And a lot of these, I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this probably incredibly long video, because I do rattle on. But I'm so pleased that there's so many people who do watch these videos. I'm always very grateful, and I want you all to know that I'm very grateful that anyone watches any of these videos. So thank you so much for your support, and thank you for watching to the end of this video, and please take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.